Rhode Island dad shows up to son's high school hockey game, kills his son, his wife, shoots in-laws, and then himself. And unfortunately, I don't want to say this, folks. I don't want to report this because it's gonna make people want to take away trans people's guns in general. Damn it! I just said it. Well, he was trans. Okay, anyways, shocking new details are emerging about the suspect in Monday's deadly shooting at a youth hockey game in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. What the fuck is this, Family Guy? I'm sorry, I shouldn't joke. Authorities have identified the shooter as 56-year-old Robert Dorgan. That is a goofy name. That is a bully name from Back to the Future. I like that. Who also went by the names Roberta Dorgan and Roberta Esposito. What? I like a little bit of that not southern, but like south of the border flair. Dorgan, who identified as transgender, had undergone gender reassignment surgery around 2020. He opened fire inside the Dennis M. Lynch Arena, bad last name, Lynch, during his son's high school senior hockey night game. This is man. He killed two of his family members, his ex-wife Rhonda Dorgan and his adult son Aiden Dorgan, before fatally shooting himself. Three others, including his former in-laws and family friend, were injured and remain in critical condition. Police have described the attack as targeted, stemming from a family dispute, not as a random act of violence. So, whether or not you have to worry about a similar situation, I don't know. Do you have a mentally unstable family member? Many of us do. Many of us have a family member where, you know what I mean? Whether it's a cousin, whether it's uncle, whether it's your own siblings, you know what I mean? People have someone in their lives who makes them go, we hope to get a call from them. We hope to hear from them by the end of the week. We hope that they're around this year, you know what I mean? But they're off. They're off doing their own thing. And that's a lot of people, they have that sort of a thing. Like, you'll get a call from them, and it's like the first time you've gotten a call in maybe, I think, a year. You'll be like, holy shit, I haven't heard from them since last Christmas. It's like they've really like flown off the edge of the map. You know what I mean? There's people, I don't know. They disappear for a while. And maybe you know what they're up to because of Facebook. Maybe you know what they're up to because of social media. Maybe you don't even know. Maybe they're like uploading on 4chan and you'll never know. Maybe they're in the Utah desert trying to break into that one mine to find that one guy who they sealed in with cement after he got stuck down there. He's going into nutty, your partner or whoever is doing this is going into Nutty Putty Cave to try to find John Jones. It's crazy. People do nutty shit. Court records and police records from as far back as 2020 paint a picture of a long-standing family conflict tied to Dorgan's gender transition. I mean, when daddy becomes mommy and you got two mommies in the house suddenly and unfortunately you're dealing with the Bruce Jenner situation. You watch those edits on TikTok of Kris Jenner going like, I miss Bruce. Bruce died to me. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, it's a death. And Caitlyn, unfortunately, I use Caitlyn's pronouns because I'll call her, I'll call her governor, and you can take that up with me. But anyways, Kris, she's the genuine loss that she experienced by losing that one Olympian, that beautiful Olympian that she managed to make kids with. It's sad for her. She holds his jackets and she's like, it smells like him. It makes me cry. It's tragic, and people don't realize that, unfortunately, you can live your life, you can make whatever choices you want to fulfill your destiny and live your life how you want to. But your family, in some instances, will miss certain parts of you, and they have their right to mourn. And maybe that's too boomer of me to say, but people do have a right to mourn. Anyways, in a divorce filing that year, his then wife Rhonda cited gender reassignment surgery and narcissistic personality disorder traits as the reason for the split. I mean, that's a pretty good reason. I mean, you can also get no-fault divorce, so that's probably what they did. Though those specifics were later crossed out and replaced with irreconcilable differences. The marriage ended in 2021. Around the same time, Dorgan reported to police that his father-in-law had threatened violence and used a derogatory slang about transgender people, refusing to let Dorgan stay in the family home. Those charges, the fact that they're using the last name in this for every person is ridiculous. Those charges were eventually dropped years later by when Dorgan, then living in Florida, chose not to pursue them. Co-workers described Dorgan as having a volatile temper and mixed feelings about their transition. I mean, at that age, where they were 56, how many years ago? 2021. So you did it when you were like 50 years old, my guy. I mean, you were born in 1970. Jesus Christ. Like that's you're unk, not even unk. That's you're OG. You're literally OG. I'm sorry, that's just what it is. These revelations have come to light through court documents reviewed by local media outlets shortly after the shooting. Let's get a taste of some ABC news. There we go. By the way, if I was at this hockey game, it would still not be the worst hockey game I've ever attended. I had to be in pep band.
Chilling video here showing the moments a shooter opened fire at a high school ice hockey game in Rhode Island. Police now reviewing this footage showing the scramble to escape the gunfire. Tonight we're learning new details about the person behind the gun and the possible family dispute that may have led to this deadly shooting. Michelle Fisher, live in our newsroom with what investigators have just revealed. Michelle.
What do we got?
This was a senior night event with high school hockey players from all across the state of Rhode Island. Unfortunately, what started as a celebration ended in tragedy.
Damn.
Gunfire erupting at an ice rink in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. This video capturing the frantic moments as high school hockey players skate to safety, racing to escape the bullets.
Can you imagine having to skate? Like there's a shooting happening around you and you have to skate. You have to run into the barrier, the thing that they have to run into, and then they have to take off their skates and shit. Can you imagine having to take off your skates in order to escape a shooter? Imagine how silly. And the people who choose not to take them off, imagine they're just running out into the outdoors with their skates still on. It's a chaotic situation.
And I thought it was balloons, but this kept going and it was actually gunshots. And after the gunshots, me and my teammates ran right to the locker room and we just bunkered up.
It happened around 2:30 Monday afternoon. Local and state law enforcement rushing to the Dennis Lynch Arena about 5 miles outside of Providence.
We have one shooter down. At the location, we have 5 injured.
The suspect entered the arena to watch the hockey game of a family member, and unfortunately, during that time, a shooting occurred. This was a targeted event. It looked like it was a family dispute, and there was one individual that was a family friend.
2 people were killed. 3 others were critically injured and are now fighting for their lives. Police tonight praising a bystander who intervened.
A good Samaritan stepped in and interjected in this scene, and that's probably...
That ain't a good Samaritan. That's a saintly Samaritan.
...what led to a swift end of this tragic event.
Police retrieved multiple firearms at the scene. The suspected shooter, who has now been identified, dying from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
We have identified the person, the suspect, by a birth name. The birth name was Robert Dorgan. We have also learned...
I love that in America, we go, we're dead naming you first. I like that. I like that in Canada, they're like, we're going to refer to them by their preferred pronouns, but we're not going to hide the fact that they're transgender. We're just going to, not talk about it first. But here in America, we're going, this individual was born a man. That's important to note, folks. And then everybody, starts leaning in to listen. And then they go, he went to she, and then everybody starts writing on their notepads.
The person does go by the name of Roberta, also uses the last name of Esposito.
The shooter police say had no prior interactions with them. A motive still unclear.
If my man is not even a little bit brown, I'm gonna giggle at the Esposito name change.
This woman says the shooter was her father.
What was the reasoning of their family argument?
He has mental health issues.
Oh.
He's very sick. If you
He's
have
very
a
sick.
loved one who you think is sick, trust your gut.
Trust your gut. If you think that someone is really sick and they need help, yeah, I would say also trust your gut. Give us the rundown, this one lady.
So police say this Rhode Island dad showed up to his own son's high school hockey game, killed his son, killed his ex-wife, and shot his in-laws before he killed himself. And he identified as transgender. Police say the shooter was Robert Dorgan, but he went by Roberta because he had transitioned. So back in 20...
I'm so sorry. And I'm not being transphobic. I'm not. So you can't hold that against me. I said it. Folks, he looks like Mel Gibson in a washed out mermaid wig. And the hair texture is the most unique one I may have ever seen on a Caucasian brother.
20, he had gender reassignment surgery, according to court documents. Goes in, gets that all done. His wife says, I can't take this anymore. I'm filing for divorce. And in the paperwork, she said it was because of his transitioning and also his personality problems. So now, Roberta's social media posts are under investigation.
Can I just say also, the social media posts that they're showing, she's not the ugliest girl I've ever seen on Facebook. I've seen some like, okay, and like, if you've ever gone to like a medium high school or anything like that, you've seen some people's moms, you've seen some people's grandmas, you've seen some people like their Facebooks are atrocious in some instances. They don't know how to hold a phone. They don't know how to hold a phone to save their lives. It's horrible framing. They have these just like no ability to do makeup, no concern for how their chin looks. It's very just, I'm sorry, like he at least knows how to frame his face next to this river.
And I'll show you why. So just hours before the shooting, Roberta is online posting all these things on X, sticking up for trans Congress member Sarah McBride, telling people to back off. In one post writing this in part, don't be so hurt over somebody different, then wonder why trans people go effing berserk.
What?
So more information will come out as they continue to dig in here out Rhode Island, but
one thing,
know for sure, is that this was a targeted shooting.
Absolutely. We do know that. So don't worry, guys. He will not be well, first of all, he's dead. So you don't have to worry about him showing up at your school, but just in case you were nervous, he did it.
A crazed shooter armed with multiple guns who posted online threats to, quote, go berserk, and whose own reported daughter claims had, quote, mental health issues and was very sick. Who was Robert Dorgan, the trans father who fatally opened fire during a Rhode Island high school hockey game? Chaos erupted during a hockey tournament at Lynch Arena in Pawtucket, Rhode Island on February 16th, when gunshots rang out from the stands around 2:30 p.m., causing families and players to scramble for safety. Harrowing live stream video captured the unfolding chaos as clumps of spectators sprinted to the exit as approximately 11 gunshots were fired from the stands.
Jeez.
Many players on the bench pushed to squeeze out of the box, with some ditching their skates in the process. Others vaulted over the barrier surrounding the rink and headed straight for the locker room. 2 people were killed during the heinous massacre, and 3 others were critically injured in what police described as a targeted family dispute. The shooter was later identified as Robert Dorgan, a 56-year-old father whose son was a North Providence high school senior that was competing in the hockey tournament.
Dang.
Dorgan, who was trans and went by the female alias Roberta Esposito, died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound at the scene. Officials said Dorgan fatally shot one of his own sons and the boy's mother. According to a GoFundMe page, Dorgan's 23-year-old son Aiden and his ex-wife Rhonda were confirmed as the victims who were killed.
Damn.
Investigators are also still probing a motive for the bloodshed, but court documents show that the father's transgender identity appeared to be a source of multiple family court battles in the years prior.
He's got like this real Kesha look to all of his photos. He's got this skanky little top on with these really high up shorts and whatnot. I'm sorry, it's not appealing. It doesn't look good on him. I'm sure it would look good on someone else's mom. But I will say this: I've seen moms that look kind of like this that have shown up to pick up, back in the school days to pick up their friends. It's like, holy shit, I think your dad's here, and they go, that's my mom, and you go, I'm sorry.
According to filings obtained by WPRI, Dorgan's ex Rhonda filed for divorce from the crazed shooter back in 2020, citing his, quote, narcissistic and personality disorder traits and his gender reassignment surgery.
Jeez.
Rhonda later amended the reasoning for their split, which was finalized in 2021, blaming it on, quote, irreconcilable differences, which have caused the immediate breakdown of the marriage.
Damn.
Police believe Dorgan was intentionally targeting his own family when he opened fire in the stands and then killed himself. A woman spotted leaving the Pawtucket police station in the wake of the shooting identified herself as the gunman's daughter, confirming that her father had mental health issues.
My father was a shooter.
What happened?
He shot my family. He has
3 dead and 3 in critical condition. Very Freemasons moment. The 3 threes.
mental health issues.
3-3. 33.
He's sick. He's very sick.
The night before before the bloodshed, the 56-year-old dad, who underwent gender reassignment surgery in 2020, also made an ominous post on X. In response to a post calling trans Democratic Representative Sarah McBride a man, Dorgan wrote, "Keep bashing us, but do not worry why we go berserk." Dorgan also posted a similar response to a post from conspiracy theorist Alex Jones.
You mean truth teller Alex Jones?
In other X posts, Dorgan offered his support for the Second Amendment and ICE and his disdain for abortion. Dorgan also appeared to be a Nazi sympathizer and had a history of spewing anti-Semitic and racist rhetoric on social media, making repeated...
Hold on a minute. What? Okay. I was about to say, what exactly did this man say that was anti-Semitic? Because if it was him criticizing Israel, that's not anti-Semitic. Because obviously it's New York Post, you don't know whether or not they'll label that as anti-Semitic. But then the first tweet they throw up is white power, WP, and then exclamation point.
References to white power and white pride worldwide in several post replies.
Jesus.
The day before his rampage at the hockey rink, Dorgan posted an anti-Asian slur as he replied to a video praising Adolf Hitler. One photo posted online even showed Dorgan brandishing a large SS symbol tattoo on his right arm. In reference to Hitler's secret police force. Pawtucket Police Chief Tina Goncalves praised a good Samaritan who she said stepped in and attempted to subdue Dorgan.
Hell yeah.
Said the man, the father of another hockey player, disarmed Dorgan, but he had a backup firearm, both of which police retrieved at the scene.
Fuck, man. Very, very, very tragic. We don't love to see this. Listen, we try to have fun on this show. This is not one that we love to have fun with. Listen, number-wise, statistics. What does it say about trans and non-binary identifying shooters? Within the last year, they've gotten a lot more attention, that's for sure. They've gotten, because, they've been doing it a little bit more, quite frankly. Is it my fault? I didn't do it. Folks, it's unfortunate, but what are you going to